It's the Cold Beer Surf Club.
Cheers. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, stoked.
I guess mostly everything about you. Anything
I feel like I have so many questions
share.
for you because I haven't seen you in a while.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, it's like fun because we don't have to talk about anything specific. So
Cool.
Kind of just anything you feel like sharing, and it can be a two-way conversation, or I can shut up and just listen to you.
I think it'll be better if we go back and forth.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I don't know. It's kind of fun, but I like when it's someone I know and we haven't.
I know.
Seen each
I
other.
don't think I've had the pleasure of spending time with your brother a handful of times in the past couple of years, and your parents, but I haven't seen you in
I know. When was the last time we were hanging?
5 years, maybe.
Was it on Tavarua for? I feel like one of those times I came down just to come for like a week. You were there for a while.
Yeah, I know.
Which was kind of
there a while.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah. Have you been spending a lot of time down there still?
I mean, I like to go at least once during the summer for like a month.
Cool.
Yeah, pretty lucky. And I'm actually going back in about a week.
Oh, you are? Damn.
Yeah.
So wait, but Dylan and Julia won't be there,
They're not there.
right?
I'm actually going down to do like a private week for Roseman auctioned me off.
No way. He sold you?
He sold me. I did the Legends of Surf luau down in La Jolla. I actually just did it yesterday.
Oh, cool.
But the one last year, they gave away a 1 week stay on Tavarua for 2 people. And at the last second, he threw in, "You'll have Paige as a private surf guide." And I was like,
nice.
You probably should have asked me first, but
He didn't even ask you?
No.
Classic.
And it was pretty funny. So I'm actually going down for that, and then I'm staying an extra week.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
That'll
hopefully
be fun.
we get good waves, and you know how it is, even if it's...
Looks like there's been waves.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's not firing, then it's firing foiling.
Yeah, I know. I forgot about that. You guys like when it's flat.
Oh, I'm like obsessed.
Are you obsessed too?
That's all I did all summer.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you surf still?
I surf when I'm in Fiji.
Don't let Dylan influence you too much.
No, I've been doing like channel crossings and downwinders like
Nice.
all summer long.
It looks so
basically,
fun.
I did a month in Fiji, surfed every day, and then came home and went into like training mode as I did the Maui to Molokai for the first time.
No way.
So I did 2 of those for fun, like to practice, and then I did the race.
Damn.
And then just recently I did a Maui to Lanai, like 32 miles.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But it's just been like a whole other world of being able to go surfing in a different way because it's been a super slow summer and I feel like I've surfed every day.
Damn.
Like doing, 1,000 turns on a coast run and going as fast as you go on a big wave, on a wave that isn't even breaking.
So crazy.
It's
I got to
pretty
get
cool.
into this thing.
It's pretty fun. I mean, it's just another way to play.
Yeah.
So it's just like another tool in the tool shed and be able to do it when the waves suck.
As long as you don't quit surfing.
Definitely not quitting. I'm not Dylan.
That's our other friend.
I'm really
He
excited.
retired.
Yeah, he's semi-retired. I think if it was good and not crowded, he'd be out there.
I know. I think that's it's a perfect storm for him of like, it's gotten so much more crowded.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And
I mean, everywhere, right? So
for sure. Especially there, though. I feel like it went exponential or something.
yeah, there's lots of
And he
boats.
had it to when it was as good as it could possibly be with no one out all the time.
I don't know if
So it'd be a hard transition period.
Oh, yeah. And like 50 people out when it's like 3 to 4 feet. Like, what?
I know.
It's mind blowing.
And then you can go foil and you're
No one. Or just your couple friends and you're like just in heaven. It's the
Pretty
best.
insane.
Yeah. It's
How are those Molokai crossings?
Really cool.
That's gnarly, right?
The first one I did as a practice run, I did with a crew of 6 of us. And like I was pretty nervous because everyone else on the boat had done that crossing a handful of times. So I was kind of like at the bottom of the totem pole as far as our crew goes. Like they all have done so many like bigger channel crossings and had much more experience. And like I'm super confident once I'm up on foil, like I can go the whole way. And I've like my technique and whatever, like I feel really good. But my fault is actually getting up on foil because we're doing it on the stand-up. And you have to stand up paddle yourself and like hop the foil out of the water. And then you're on like an 8-foot board.
Crazy.
Cruising. But I wasn't a stand-up paddler, and I still somehow kind of suck at that part. So I'm always like, oh, I hope I get up. I hope I get up. And the first crossing that I did, I actually got up, and it was really light, but I used a bigger foil just to like be safe. And I went the whole way. And
Because you only had to pop up on foil one time.
yeah, I popped up, and then the plan was like we were pairing off in twos, and I was with Andrea Moeller, who's like done these channels like on every craft there is for 20 years, canoe, like stand up, everything. And she was on a smaller foil because she was testing something. So she took a while to get up, and we all had radios, and I was following two guys that were in front of me, probably 5 minutes ahead of me. So off in the distance, I could see them, which was really cool. So I got to follow their line, but I was trying to radio the entire time, just going, this is so fun. Oh my God. And I had changed the channel on my radio on accident. Shit. So I had no communication, and I was literally by myself for 27 miles.
No way.
It was pretty cool though. And like we got there, and then Andrea was like, I don't know, 10 minutes behind or something. But yeah, it was pretty mind blowing. And I came in like, oh my gosh, I feel like I just surfed, a 10-foot glassy, firing, barreling point break with just a couple of my friends.
Whoa.
And like they're, you're looking around, and I'm like, there's not even a breaking wave out here. Like it's so cool. Yeah.
How long did that take?
Just under 2 hours.
Okay.
Because we were just cruising. Like we weren't trying to actually like race. Like the top guys are all like just pushing the whole time. And you're like, it turns into an endurance sport. And I'm like out there to surf. I just want to do turns.
How are your legs just on fire by the time you get there? Or is it not too bad?
After 2 months of doing that every day, like I was like, oh, let's do it again.
So you train.
You got to build it up for sure. Like the first couple weeks of. No, I think you'd be fine. It's just like
so. Not right now.
Maybe not right now.
Dad bod.
But like it takes a couple weeks just to get, it's all the little stuff. It's more like my feet hurt.
Okay.
Like your feet from gripping and just all the little tiny muscles and tendons and everything that are twitching. But
sounds so fun.
It's really fun.
I think it'd be good here.
Oh,
because we get so many days where there's like wind and wind swell in the channel, and like the waves aren't pretty bad. Yeah. But I think you could have a lot of fun going downwind. I don't really see anyone doing it.
Maybe you gotta try.
I know, I need to try. I think my one friend Patrick, he's a really good kite surfer, and he's pretty into it. He goes out and goes. I think a lot of guys, I've seen guys doing the wing foil here.
Is this Patrick McNamara?
No, his name's Patrick Grubstock.
Oh yeah, Pat. Yeah.
Do you know him?
I've never met him in person, but we are Instagram friends.
Okay, cool.
Through foiling.
He's super. Yeah, he's a really good.
No,
dude.
he's super into it.
Yeah. He rips at surfing, and
get him to go.
I know he's living up. I think he's living in Slow right now, so it's even windier up there. Yeah, I think that's why he started doing it, because he was like,
Oh, he's obsessed.
Yeah, he's obsessed.
Yeah, he rides for Lyft. Who like we both ride Lyft foils, and he's on some of Sean's boards. So
no way. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so cool. Sean makes all of Lyft's like SEPs, and was involved in making a bunch of boards for them. So
and that's who Dylan reps too, right? Or is that different?
No, Dylan's doing Armstrong.
Oh, Armstrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Enemy.
Not really.
Are they way different?
Everything is pretty good now. Like 5 years ago, like there were, a couple brands that were kind of like ahead of the curve as far as like what speed and flow and just fluidity through the water. But now like everyone is pretty close, but it's just, it's like a surfboard where like you want to feel something that like it might feel kind of twitchy and weird for me, or, oh, that feels slow, or it's like changing fins on a board. It's kind of just personal preference.
But then there's also like a lot of design that makes you go either faster, like more control, or
totally,
right?
Or more surfy. Like you want to slow down a little bit so that you can roll over more. And yeah. So there's so many little nuances and
crazy. And then when you're like racing, are you riding one that's just like built just to go super fast?
Yeah, you're riding something that's like high aspect, so it's like really stretched out like an airplane wing. And it doesn't necessarily turn as good as the ones that have a little bit more curve. But that's what makes you go fast. And it's just more of a go point it and find the energy and go quick.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. It's like a whole new world.
Whole nother sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
It is.
And
you're flying on the water. It's literally like, it's crazy. A
few times I did it, I was so amazed at how quiet it is. Like, I don't know why when you're riding a wave, I guess you don't have as much time maybe to take it all in or something.
And the wave's breaking. So there's
you're
sound.
Hearing. And I just remember getting up there and finally being like, oh my God, it's silent. Yeah. When I was doing it behind the jet ski, but then once Dylan I got it good enough to let go and then try to ride a little wave, I was like, oh my God, it's so quiet.
It's so cool.
Which is really cool.
Especially there, like if you're riding a bump that it actually isn't even breaking, it's wild. I think the first foil wave I caught in Fiji, I rode for 3.5 minutes.
3.5 minutes?
Yeah. And I was mind blown.
Oh my gosh.
On Maui, we have like a couple spots that are like insane, but you might ride a wave for, I don't know, there's one spot you could probably ride a wave for a minute, maybe a minute and a half. So like I looked down and I was like, I brought my GoPro with me and I was like, oh my God.
3.5. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think I made it like 20 seconds. Hey, shit. I can't believe
but
how hard
the next
it is.
One, 30 seconds.
Yeah. I guess it's a pretty quick incline, huh? That's what I couldn't believe though. The first time I tried it, I was behind the ski and I was like, I ride a surfboard for a living and I can't even ride this thing for like 5 seconds.
It's a completely different feel and it's very counterintuitive to back foot, like having to create speed. You're like, once you're up on foil, it's more of like a front foot and almost like hip shift. And you already have speed, so you don't need to create it. So it's kind of like this interesting kind of like, you need to be able to like harness that speed. And it's really just like a movement of your hips. I think it's wild.
You nailed it. I remember feeling like every time, because on a surfboard, you're like pushing into your fins kind of, or at least that's how I think of it. And then you're like, driving for speed.
Yeah.
And the foil, it's like if you push on your back foot into the foil, it launches you. It pushes back so hard.
Yeah.
So you have to like you said, it's super weird. I don't know.
And I
remember thinking I had to
a lot more
shift
subtle.
my hips forward onto my front foot.
Yeah. And it's a lot more subtle. You don't have to, like just a micro adjustment changes everything.
Yeah. How is it for you going back and forth from surfing to foiling? Is it hard?
In the beginning, it was rough.
Yeah.
Like actually good Dylan story, which is my favorite one to share, just from foiling for too long. But a cloud break session, I was like, pumping swell is coming. I'm like, Dylan, like you haven't surfed in a while. Like I really think you should like just come surf restaurants. It's 2 foot, but like just paddle aboard. And he's like, I have a meeting or whatever. Like I'll be fine. And I'm like, but like I think you should. Like I just foiled for 3 weeks straight and just paddled out on a 6'6" and was like all topping over, like kooking it. I'm like, just trust me. Like, you should probably just come for a surf. He's like, I'll be fine. And he like gets in the water. It's like pumping, like pretty good cloud break. And he's like, I can barely paddle. And Gavin and I and Issei all watched him go like I forget exactly what happened, but the first wave he like went to take off and just like head over heels, like full on wipeout. And I was like, oh my God. Came over and we like, oops, we all had a good laugh about it. And then he did it again. He did it on 3 waves in a row. He came over to the channel and was like, I think I need to retire. Like, and just so freaked out. And I was like, I told you should have just, brought a soft top out or like a fish at restaurants, maybe just to like get your feet back.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
And we went back to the island and he was just like so freaked out. And I was like heart to heart, like, you just have to remember that you can do this. And he went back out in the evening and actually like got a good one.
Nice.
And like kind of like figured it out again, but it was pretty funny. So yes, going back and forth is definitely tricky, but now I feel like I can go, like, it might take a session to be like, dialed in, and I definitely put my back foot further forward on my surfboard the first few waves that I ride if I've been foiling a bunch.
Okay, that makes sense.
Where I'm like, oh, why am I digging rail and not moving? And I'm like, oh yeah, I need to be on the deck pad.
Okay. Yeah, because you don't have to turn from back there on the foil. Huh?
Yeah.
It's like, if anything, you actually don't want your weight all the way back there.
Yeah, and your stance is a little narrower. So it's good to go back and forth. I think it's just it adds to like the at least comfort level of going like really fast, like on bigger waves. I feel like you only get those moments in surfing, like for such short amount of time, where on the foil, like you're going at such speed, like the similar feeling and speed on a, a not breaking wave that, it feels like it's like a 20-footer.
Crazy.
And you have it for longer periods of time. So you actually kind of get used to that feeling. So once you're on waves of consequence, like surfing, you're like, oh, I know this feeling.
Yeah.
It's
never
interesting.
thought about that. It's kind of like a good, in a weird way, it's like good training for being on a big wave.
It's good training for
really
like your
fast.
mind, I feel like. Yeah.
Getting comfortable at that speed.
Yeah.
So in wintertime, are you like when you're focusing more just on like big wave surfing, are you hanging up the foil?
Mostly. Yeah. I mean, definitely like still do it here and there, but it's not like, okay, here comes the swell. I can't wait to go foiling,
Do you think do you think you'll ever ride like a wave at Jaws on a foil?
I won't say that I won't do it, but I don't necessarily have the personal desire to ride a big wave on a foil. It is so scary.
Yeah.
Like a head high wave is scary on a foil. You're going so fast and you're out of the water. Like, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But I really enjoy the fact that I get those like butterflies and like that adrenaline rush from very bad surf doing that. Like it keeps me stoked on surfing in a different way. And then when the waves are good, you go surfing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It's weird though that it like started kind of at Jaws in a way, right? I mean, I don't know, no foil historian here, but like wasn't like Laird and those guys were riding the foils at Jaws, like towing in with those like snowboard boots and shit?
Yep. They were like, they were using the foil and were full on booted in. Like if I forget how they were attached, but they were like the snowboard bindings to where you were locked in. So if you fell,
so gnarly.
Yeah. If you fell, like you had this huge anchor / knife, just, coming up from behind. It's kind of a wild thing to think back on, but yeah, they definitely like, dabbled in danger a lot and got it started. And just to see like where it has progressed, it's pretty cool. Because
then it kind of felt like it disappeared for a while after that, right?
Yeah. And then kind of like the resurgence, and like Kai definitely like got eyes on it, like he started doing it. And at first, honestly, I was like, it just looks so weird. I'm like, wasn't interested really at all, because I'm like, what is this, And the hopping, especially like we always joke about it, the hopping, but the pumping like just looks so silly. So you're like, how could that be fun? And then a handful of like my good friends got into it and they're like, no, you have to try it. And I was like, okay, like if you're saying it's fun, then like it must be fun, like really good surfers. And I gave it a go, and it was like a steep learning curve for me, because we were on tiny little like technical foils that were really hard to learn on. And yeah, it took a while to get it. And then something clicked and I was like, oh my gosh, like mind blown.
Yeah. Well, Maui seems like in a way it's completely different than here, but in some ways it's similar, because it seems like when the waves are good on Maui, it's like really good. And then when it's bad, it's like really bad.
Yep.
So you kind of need other hobbies and things to occupy your ocean.
You have to
fix, right?
For sure.
And it seems like so many good like watermen and waterwomen come from Maui for that reason. It's like you guys are into more than just surfing.
Yeah. The opportunities are endless there, especially like using the wind. Like we live on the windiest island. So, I never really got into kiting or windsurfing. Like I've dabbled and done it a handful of times, but I never pursued it. It was kind of like a middle of the day sport where I was like, I surf in the morning and surf in the evening. How am I supposed to do this all day? Mm-hmm. And the foiling and using the wind to like go down a coast and like do a coast run is just like, it's just absolutely insane. Like we're literally just going out and riding these, in the middle of the summer where normally everyone's grumpy, everyone's complaining, and there hasn't been any surf. And I'm like, I feel like I've been surfing every day. Like it's firing. And I don't know, we just live in the best place ever for that. And then in the wintertime, when waves start rolling around, it's like, okay, it's on. And, we don't have consistent, like really high quality surf like Oahu and some of the other spots. But when our waves do get good, we have some of the best waves in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty special place.
Yeah.
And so
lucky.
did you grow up on Maui?
I did. Yeah. I was born
and raised.
I wasn't born there. I was born in Victoria, BC.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And I left there when I was 7.
Okay.
And traveled around Australia for a year with my mom.
Cool. I never knew any of this.
Yeah. From 8 to 9, I was out of school for 3rd grade, and we traveled the entire country.
No way.
Yeah. Just my mom and I for 10 months.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Camping, and like we camped like 95% of the time. Because Australia's campgrounds are insane.
I know, it's so nice there.
Every town has a beautiful campground. And then when we moved to Maui, I started 4th grade there. So when I was 9, I moved there when I was 9.
You've been there since.
Yeah.
And always, because now I always get confused on all what do you guys call that area where like you and Matt and everyone lives? Haiku.
Yep.
So were you always out there on the North Shore?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Grew up
so
in
nice
Haiku.
there.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's, we have a blend of everything, and we're just half an hour away from the airport, but we're out. It's definitely the country, and that's like why I love it so much, For
sure.
We complain about 10 minutes of traffic in Peʻahi. Coming over here and driving through LA, I'm like, oh my gosh,
God.
We gotta quit complaining.
Yeah, you have it good. It's so bad. It just gets worse and worse here too.
It's crazy.
And then they decided to change it to 1 lane, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
My whole day is devoted to this traffic jam now.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's messed up. And so did you get into surfing like from super young age there in Maui?
I took a surf lesson in Australia when I was
on that trip
when I was 9. And then when we moved to Maui, I'd always been like really comfortable in the water and swimming, and was playing on a bodyboard, and kind of got used to, the little circle, bigger circle. Okay. All of a sudden you're like kind of out in the lineup, and just kind of naturally progressed to riding a surfboard. My aunt gave me a board that was under her house, and I kind of taught myself how to surf. I mean, I got tips and pointers from parents and stuff. Like my mom didn't surf, but she took me to the beach every day.
Yeah.
And so kind of just figured it out, and was like really determined. I was like, I love this.
Sick. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Because it must have been, I mean, back then on Maui, like there probably wasn't too many other, like you probably didn't have too many girls or women to surf with at that point, right?
Yeah. I mean, there were like a handful for sure, and like friends that I'm, still dear friends with, but I definitely was like hanging with the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they pretty cool, like with you surfing and stuff, or were people eggy?
4th and 5th grade, like that's like such a nice time, like everyone's friends. Like I made friends at school like instantly, because I was like into playing sports. I played soccer and baseball and like all these things, and like it's a tricky time for sure at that age. Like I guess at that time too, like little Howley chick like moves to Maui, and
totally.
I didn't really like know like a lot of people, like a handful of friends from the beach and that kind of thing, but it's just an age where like you just get down and dirty and you start playing, like, and you make friends.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I made a lot of friends at the beach like pretty quickly, and like definitely like the older crew were like pretty rad. Definitely as I was a teenager, it was like, I was kind of like, okay, we were the bottom of the pecking order. Things are so different now than, when I was learning to surf 25 years ago. And I'm like, actually longer than that now. Doing the math.
I know, I hate when that happens. I'm like, 10 years
wait,
ago, it was
a
15
little
or
longer
20 years
than
ago.
that. But yeah, it was just, you had to pick up the scraps and slowly work your way out and sit on the inside. And, you weren't allowed to go and sit at the peak and battle the aunties and uncles. It was just different. And now it's like, I'm like getting back paddled by 10-year-olds. I'm like, what the heck?
Oh yeah.
But I'm like, gosh, you can do airs already?
It's changed everywhere.
Yeah, things are different.
That's wild, even there, that it's so different too. But yeah, but like even the North Shore, like going for winters, I'm like, damn.
Crazy.
It wasn't like this when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You got sent in.
Yeah.
Very quickly if we did that.
Yeah, you'd get yelled at. Yeah.
I wasn't from there, but still. And then, so at what point, like, did you want to surf Jaws? It's just crazy that.
Well, I don't know if I ever like really wanted to do that. Like it wasn't a dream really. Like it was kind of, these mythical creatures that tow surfed out there. It was more of just like a wow, like, it was more of a dream. Like it wasn't something that was my dream. It was just like someone else's dream of riding these giant waves. And I like grew up, doing all of the contests and competitive career, amateur career. And like my dream was to be a world champ. Like that was when I was young. Like I was like, okay, win nationals, get on the QS. I want to be on the dream tour. Mm-hmm. And, I won nationals my last year that I was in it and didn't have a main sponsor at the time. So, I was like, okay, what do I do now? And I want to do the QS, but kind of in the midst of that, like the dream tour stopped being the dream tour, at least for the women. Like they took Cloud Break, Tahiti was gone, mm-hmm. Honolulu was gone. And I was like, what? I don't know if that's necessarily like my dream then to go and surf all these other spots. Like
totally.
I mean, a handful of them are amazing, but a lot of them I was like, I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
So I started doing the QS, but I couldn't do the whole tour because I didn't have the money to do it. So I'd like work, save up money, and kind of pick and choose a handful of events, and usually like the 6 stars that I could get into and whatever. And I did a handful of them. I traveled to like Margaret River, showed up. They put us at the peak over to the left, like not the actual main break. What's the one over?
South. It's like south, center side or south side, south side.
Which is just horrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's just like a burger of a burger of a burger. And I was baffled. Like I just traveled, halfway around the world to show up and surf like this sick, powerful wave that I feel like I could actually show my surfing. Yeah. And then we got sent out there, and I think I made 2 rounds and then lost. Went to South Africa, ended up surfing, knee to waist high beach break. Surfed a couple heats, lost. And I was like, gosh, I'm spending all this money and I'm like competing in waves that don't really like, I felt like I didn't get to showcase how I actually surfed. And I was like, well, the dream tour is not really a dream tour anymore. Do I actually want to do that? So I was like kind of confused. Mm-hmm. And then so I was like, I'll just start doing some surf trips here and there to like go to good waves and have fun. And in the midst of all of that, the paddle and movement at Jaws had just started. At least like the progression of it. People had been surfing out there like a handful of times, but usually on the smaller swells. And it wasn't something that like a lot of people did. It is, there's a handful. So once that started being pushed, it was like, whoa, like a bunch of my friends are doing this that I surf with all the time. I was like, I want to do that. Like, I don't want to be left out.
For sure.
And I'd been invited to an event at Nelscott Reef, like an all women's heat, and Sean had made me a 9.6 for that, this purple gun. And I remember getting it and I was like, whoa, this is like a pretty big board. You put those boards under your arm and you're like, I don't really know about this.
Yeah, it weirds me out. I'm like, what do I do? Huh?
Yeah,
I'm
like, oh my God. Yeah. And then like a handful of our friends started surfing out at Jaws, and they were all like, oh, you need a bigger board. It needs to be bigger. And so Sean made me a 10.2. And I remember picking that board up and I was like, I don't know if I want to ride waves that, you need a board this big.
That for sure.
And yeah, I mean, it just was kind of like a snowball event. It was like, okay, let's go try. And the first session I had out there was just like, oh my God, this is all I want to do.
Oh, wow. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
How old were you when you first surfed Jaws?
I tow surfed it when I was like 17.
Damn.
And I had paddle surfed a bunch of the outer reefs on Maui earlier, which I forgot to mention.
So you were already surfing big waves before that.
Dabbling. I mean, it's completely different than our other spots for sure. It's like the next tier. So to jump from, not surfing anything and going to that is just crazy. But definitely like had a handful of sessions. We have a bunch of outer reef waves that are like really good warm-ups and a lot of power and like good training. And, you can ride a 7.0 to an 8.0 to a 9.0 out there and then work your way up. Mm-hmm. So I did that. My first like big wave paddle session, I was 15. And so I did it like a handful of times.
That's young.
Yeah.
Especially like back, I mean, who else, like when you say your friends, like I don't think, were there any other girls surfing with you that were 15?
Not doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a handful of girls that were charging like out at Honolulu and stuff when it was bigger, but not that I remember at any of the outer reefs. So
who were you surfing with at that point?
Well, my first paddle-in session, my mentor shaper at the time, Chris Vandervoort, he was like a huge advocate of, old ways, paddle-in surfing is the way, toe surfing. And he was like, a very talented surfer, and he saw something in me that he was like, you'll be really good at this. Like, come do it. And I was like, cool. Okay, let's do this. And the first paddle-in session I had at this wave that's outside of our airport, and it was glassy and beautiful and just like so powerful. And I'd never seen waves like that ever before, like up close and personal. And I remember that session like it was yesterday, like the feeling of like kicking out of my first wave, that feeling of like, whoa, I can do this. Like I'm actually really good at this. I feel confident. Like I'm not scared. Like this is crazy. And yeah, that kind of just like, it was an intro into the big wave world. And I was like, wow, this is something maybe like I have interest in. It wasn't like, oh, I want to do that as a job or as a career. It was just like, I love this. This is like, thrilling, Yeah. So it was kind of just like I feel like a consequence of growing up on Maui.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You just, like that first session, you just felt that comfortable and at that young of an age.
Yeah. I mean, I like was nervous and all the feelings for sure. But it, like when you successfully ride a wave, like it was probably 10 feet, maybe a 20-foot face, and kick out in the channel. It's just like, it's insane.
Yeah.
You know that feeling where you're like, I did it. I survived.
I haven't surfed that many big waves, but yeah, a couple. And I was like, oh my God, that was fun.
So much fun.
Dang. So you kind of worked your way up, and then how old did you say you were when on that first Jaws session? First time you towed, you said 17? Like
17, 18. And then a few years later, I think it was 2011 was my first paddle session out there.
Okay.
Or 2012, something like that.
And were there that many people even paddling at that point?
It was like right at the beginning. Like my first session out there was probably 15 of us. And I think everyone that was out there was from Maui.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty special.
Really special.
Who were some of the first guys to paddle Jaws?
So like Marcio, Yuri, Danilo were kind of like the guys that really like opened the eyes of a lot of people. Like there were a lot of older crew, like, 10 plus years like prior to those guys going out there.
Yeah.
But it was definitely not on the biggest, best days. Like they were going out on smaller days and just kind of dabbling in it.
Yeah.
And then Marcio, Yuri, and Danilo really like showed the world that you can catch 20, 25-foot waves, but they were mostly surfing on the left, which is like gives you kind of more of a launch into the wave.
Okay.
And they're all goofy foot.
Yeah.
And then Shane and Ian were kind of like hey, this is doable. Like, let's go try and do it on the next swell that comes. Like, we're going to go and do it. And they went and like showed the world, like, you can actually paddle the right. And then it was just like whoa, it's possible. So then the younger crew were all over it, Albee and Matt and, all of that, all my peers were like, we're out there. And it turned into something where, for the first year or two, it was mostly all Maui crew and then a handful of people that would fly over for swells.
Crazy.
Yeah. Like,
so scary.
Remember that wave that Shane caught that just like red board? It was an end of October swell that just changed everything. Mm-hmm. And Sean and I were like, there's this photo of us with our hands up, just claiming it from the channel. Like after we watched it, that swell changed like everything.
Wow.
That was just like, glassy I think the glassiest ever. And it was big. Like by the evening, it was 50 feet.
That was huge.
Yeah. So
I remember that super clearly.
That swell just really opened up everyone's eyes to like, whoa, this is the best big wave in the world that can be paddled.
So gnarly.
It's so gnarly.
Is it, has Sean been making your boards for you for out there since then?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Only
he's made
boards
you
I
a lot
want
of
to
big
ride.
boards.
Yeah.
That's
For
cool.
sure. He definitely, like, especially like the big wave boards, like you can see the progression of like all the different surfers that have like ridden other things and then got on his boards and just feel really comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Like he went from a windsurf background of going at that same speed on rail and being able to translate that into like a big wave gun. And that wave in particular, like you really can see like the good boards like stand out. You know, they actually cut through the water and really like roll over and they can actually turn going fast.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what freaks me out about thinking about surfing out there. Like we surfed that big day at Cloudbreak, and it was, by the end I was like, oh, this isn't really that big of a deal because there's not a drop of water out of place.
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
Picture
you just
perfect.
paddle, and it's like, you know, you read the wave the same as you read a 6-foot wave out there. But then I see those waves that you're riding at Jaws and the wind chops coming up the face at you guys when you're paddling. I'm like, can you even see anything when you're like paddling down to the face of one of those waves?
Yeah, I mean, I swear the best surfers out there, like you watch what Albee does out there, and I think that he sees that wave differently than like anyone, and his approach. I think he does things different than anyone, but it is like a product of growing up on a windy island where the wind blows from the right to the left. That's our trade wind. And you have to learn how to read swell bumps. If you're
Like
not
bumps within the bumps.
if you're not utilizing that, you're going to get caught behind. And you can like Peʻahi is like just a bigger version of Honolua. It has like moments of, you know, bigger Hokipa and just how like things line up, but it's a picture perfect A-frame. So it has, you know, that quality of like, this is the best wave in the world, but there's so many little nuances to it that you pick up, I feel like, from growing up there. And you got to really use that wind. Even when it's glassy out there, it's bumpy.
Still bumpy, yeah.
Yeah. So you got to like be able to pick through, you know, the bumps and be able to paddle and utilize that to get you into them and then be able to see it on the face. And the glassy days are glassy, but
yeah, it's easier.
you're still navigating the moguls.
So can you see, like when you're paddling into those waves, can you see, or are you just like going by feel?
I mean, on the windy days, it's pretty hard to see.
Yeah.
But like the glassy days, you have a breeze coming up the face just because of how, you know, how big that wave is and the way that the valley, like, you know, lines up with the actual like peak of the wave. You feel like there's wind even though it's glassy and there is no breeze. But yeah, those days are a lot easier. Like you just turn and go and you're going so fast that you're like, you're already in it.
So crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I can only imagine like taking off on one of those blindfold. And like, oh,
I mean, I would
down there?
I would imagine like a lot of people are going off a braille. Like I think at a certain point, you know, you're just kind of relying on what you know.
Yeah.
You know, you get to your feet and you're like, get it on rail.
So crazy. Is that is that still your favorite big wave in the world that you've ever surfed? Yeah.
For
I mean,
sure.
it's pretty much, you could get the biggest barrel, like just the way the wave like lines up, it just looks insane. Like it's not a drop. It's, the drop's the beginning of the ride.
It's a perfect wave. I mean, Cloudbreak for sure is the best wave in the world, but how often does it do that, you know? So it's almost like it's a forgotten big wave until it's around. So when you're like thinking of like the top big wave spots in the world, like Peʻahi is hard to beat. It's a A-frame. You can go left and right. You know, on any given day, you can get barreled out there. And you go at such crazy speed, and it's just a magical place. Like the whole bay and what you're looking up to on land, it's just a really magical place in the world. And I don't think anywhere like compares, especially for paddle surfing. Like, you know, there's a lot of really good, beautiful waves, but that one's just the best. Arguably the best in the world.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty psycho. I don't have much experience on any of them, but
You got to come
my favorite one to
dabble.
watch it.
You got to come dabble.
And someday you should paddle out.
You would love
it. I'll do it.
You'll do it.
I told Pete I'd come surf Mavs with him too.
Yeah. A little closer.
I like surfing big waves. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
Super fun.
I just feel like I've never had the time to like focus into being like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So like, I'm not that prepared. Like don't get out there consistently, you know, to like feel super confident. But every time I'm like out and the waves are bigger, I'm like, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
So
this winter, you're saying there's
a chance.
Yeah.
So once you like got that taste of that, were you like, okay, this is what I want to do and what I want to focus on? When you're sort of like dabbling on the QS and you're like, and then once we started paddle surfing like more consistently out there, I was like, oh, this is like my calling, kind of like. So you got to that point where you're like, okay, then now this is what I want to do. Yeah. And I mean, it's in my backyard. I can hear it from, you know, where I was living at that time and like where my house is now. And there's a big swell. I hear it up the valley. Like it's, you know, we're a couple bays over and you can hear it from our house. So cool. It's so cool. So, you know, there's obviously a connection there and it's right there. And it was something that like I knew that I wanted to pursue, but I still wasn't making money surfing. Mm-hmm. It was just because I loved doing it. And I worked any job that allowed me to continue to live that way. You know, I was early 20s. I'm like, I just want to travel in the summertime and be at home during the winter and surf Jaws. And I was just pretty lucky that the way that, you know, it kind of unfolded, and with the Big Wave Award starting to get a little bit more attention. And then we had, you know, the Jaws events that, you know, allowed us all a platform to kind of showcase what we do out there in different conditions. You know, we had really windy year the first year, and then a beautiful glassy day the next year, and then as big as it gets and as windy as it gets, to where they called the event off. So there's been like, you know, that gave us an opportunity to kind of showcase the sport to like more eyes and get more attention on it. And I feel like big wave surfing was just kind of in the limelight. Like a lot of people were paying attention to it, and I think like outside of the industry, it's like something that kind of captures, you know, a different audience. People see small person, big wave, and are just wowed by it. You know, it's like looking at a photo of like a giant mountain and someone going down that looks like an ant. And yeah, it was just kind of like divine timing, I guess, to like, I started getting a few sponsors here and there and getting a little bit of help to go on trips and making a little bit of money from these contests. And one thing led to another. And then I turned 30 and was making money surfing. And it was, really cool. Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah. Kept getting after it. Yeah. Didn't give up. Pretty fortunate. Yeah. Turned 30 and became a professional surfer. I remember when you won nationals. I was doing nationals at that point. Yeah. Down at Lowers. Yeah. Was that the year that Clay won? I can't remember who won the guys. Yeah. I know I won Explorer Women and beat Carissa. Nice. Yeah, I know. I remember like we were watching like, damn, that girl Paige rips. Yeah. It was pretty cool. She won freaking like every division every year at nationals, so it's a big deal. It was pretty cool for sure. So cool. But yeah, looking back on that, it's always something that I kind of joke about. I'm like, you know, I won a national title once back in the day. Well, I mean, sometimes you just gotta ride the peaks and the valleys to get there. For sure. But I mean, how cool is that you got to build that career basically around that wave right there in your guys' backyard? I mean, I feel like a few people have been able to like really. For sure. I mean, Albee, it's not even fair to say that because he's so good at like airs and stuff too, but like he really like that sets you guys apart, is the fact that you guys can ride that wave so well. For sure. And I think it just being like that, you know, that's our home big wave spot, and it being there. And like I said, just having like that progression and learning how to use the wind and riding. We have so many different types of waves on Maui, like, and they're not perfect. I mean, Honolulu is perfect, but we don't have a lot of like perfect waves to practice on. So you learn these weird nuances, and I think it just translates into, you know, riding these bigger waves that have little tricks, and there's, you know, little hidden secrets that you can see if you've grown up there and been doing that your whole life. Yeah, because I think to someone like me who's whatever, I've surfed around the world, but like to go look at that wave and be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go surf Jaws. Like if you're not used to that wind and like that you feel comfortable in, it's super intimidating. Yeah, for sure. But when you come over, you're gonna come on glassy swell. Yeah, okay. With everyone else. And we'll give you the lineups, and you'll skip a few years of pain. Okay, thank you. I'll probably still get caught inside. I can't remember. Like
looking back on it, I'm like, we weren't like, I had no clue where I was in the lineup.
Really?
You know, like I tow surfed out there a handful of times, but I was never the one driving.
Yeah.
So whoever was driving me obviously knew the lineups. You're looking up, you know, up the valley and up the mountain, and there's certain lineups that kind of show you where you are on the reef. But I was like the first, I think, year or two that I was paddling out there, I was just looking in and looking at the boils.
Crazy.
I'm like, okay, like you can, you know, go off of that, but you weren't looking off of like the big picture, like looking in, looking out. And
yeah.
I was
really
like, oh,
dialing in.
Getting a little too close to that boil. Let's go further out.
Hope that next set's not too big.
Yeah. Like, run to the channel.
Gosh. I can't
So
imagine.
funny.
What's it like getting caught inside out there?
Oh, try to avoid it.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of is inevitable though, usually, right?
It happens for sure. During that contest that got called off, I got caught by a 60-foot wave that literally landed like on my head. And I never want to experience that ever again.
Really?
Not that way.
What happened?
I mean, literally, not kidding. I'll have to show you the video, but
I think I've seen it.
the wave literally landed on me. And it was easily, you know, it was a 60-foot wave. My board is a 10-4 and it looks this big. Like,
oh my gosh.
It's crazy. And I just got sent really deep very fast and like stretched both of my ears out. Like I didn't tear them, but I had water stuck in both of my ears afterwards. And I've had like water get stuck in my ears now. I never had that issue before.
Really?
Broke my board.
Change your eustachian tube, Bri.
Yeah, like stretched it out, I think.
Crazy.
And broke my board into pieces, like instantly. I had inflated my vest, and I remember just hearing like, shh, like I was not going up. And then as soon as it like fully inflated, I was like, okay, good, I'm inflated. And it took forever to get up. I was like, oh, I'm going up now. Like, and then I barely came up and then took another one on the head. It was wild. Gosh. It was absolutely terrifying.
It's deep. Were you at the bottom, do you think? How deep is it out there?
I didn't hit the bottom then, but I mean, the shallower parts of the reef, you know, 20, 25 feet. Not the reef, but like the ledge there. Mm-hmm. But like where I was 40, 50 feet deep probably or more. And like easily got sent 30 plus feet in like a split second.
Oh my God.
My ears were killing me.
Oh, I bet. My sinuses might explode if I get caught inside then.
Yeah, it was gnarly, but I will never do that again. Like in that way. It was a contest.
Yeah.
So you're like, and it was an uprising swell. It was dark out. You couldn't see the lineups on the land. And I was in like what I felt like the perfect spot for the waves that had been there, you know, for the past hour of watching. And the swell hit during my heat. And it was like this giant black wall, you know, and I was paddling as hard as I could to get further out. And I just was like, I'm not moving. And it, you know, like those waves that are so big that they look like they're moving in slow motion because they're moving so fast.
Can imagine.
It was just this black wall, and I was like, oh, this is not good. And I had a couple of friends like on skis, like over like in the channel that were like, I thought you died. Like the wave literally landed like a whole house, you know, a giant
skyscraper
hotel basically landed on me. It was crazy. But I won't get caught like that now. Like this, I mean, that was 6 years ago. Mm-hmm. And like a lot has changed in, you know, those couple of years. Like I definitely am even more picky than I was then. I'm even more picky on the days that I want to surf out there. Like I like surfing out there when it's good. I don't need to go out when it's windy. And like the consequences as you get a little bit older are just so much higher. Like it's a lot easier to get hurt. And I just like only want to ride the good waves out there. I don't need to catch a million waves.
You don't need to prove yourself.
Been
anymore.
there, done that.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to ride like really good waves, and you know, you got to pick your days.
So you'll never get caught inside again?
Oh, I'm
gonna sit next to you.
I've been caught inside, just not like
not
that.
by a 60-footer.
Not on days like that.
Yeah.
No.
That's so crazy.
It's definitely not happening.
In hindsight, would you have like paddled in? Would you have been better off?
I don't know. I mean, how far are you really going to get?
Yeah,
you know?
It's probably sucking you backwards if you're paddling in. Even
like it might have broke, 20 feet.
Yeah, but that's like the lip's probably like 10 feet wide anyway.
Yeah.
So
I'm like,
20 feet wide.
Who knows?
Gosh.
It was crazy.
That's so gnarly.
So scary.
Was that the first year that they sent the women out on that really huge day?
That was the third year that the women had been in the event. So the fourth year of the Jaws contest, because the first year the girls weren't in it.
Yeah.
So it was the third year, and we surfed 2 women's heats and then the final, and then they ran 2 heats of the guys and called it off.
Yeah. That was that year was the really
huge, and it was windy.
Right? Okay.
And, Billy blacked out. Twiggy came up bleeding from his face. It was like, still to this day, a lot of people are like, I can't believe they called it off. And like, I can't believe they ran the women and then ran a couple heats of the guys and called it off. Like, it's baffling, but it was it was crazy.
Yeah.
And they called it off, and the only person that went surfing was Albee. He's like, it's firing.
Psycho. So psycho.
It was wild. But yeah, and then the next year they ran the contest. That year I got 4th, I think. I just wasn't in a good headspace, didn't even really want to be there. And then the next year I won it, and that was the last time they ran it.
So how many years in a row, how many years did it go? It
ran 5 years.
Okay. Didn't you win it multiple times though?
I won it 3 times.
Yeah.
They ran the contest 5 times, 4 times. The last 4 times the women were in it.
Okay.
And I won
3 for 4. It's pretty good. Pretty good odds there.
Pretty stoked.
Hell yeah.
I hope one day it happens again, but it was pretty cool when we had it. It was just a really unique time. And I feel very fortunate that, as amongst that, it gave me a launch. I won 3 Jaws contests and 2 world titles from that. So
nice.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Pretty cool to look back on,
So
I know
cool.
in 20 years from now, I'll be like, the good old days.
I don't know. You never know. Hopefully it'll.
Yeah.
I mean, are there many younger girls and coming up behind you guys that are charging Jaws like that?
Yeah, there's a handful, still super small number for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see more women out there. It's just it is just such high risk. So it's a lot of the girls that are really good surfers, they're on the tour and they're competing for world titles, and the risk versus reward there for them. You really have to love surfing big waves to get into it. You can't do it as oh, this is going to be part of my career.
Mm-hmm.
You just really have to enjoy it. And there's a handful on Maui, and there's a handful here in California, and there's a couple girls in Australia, and it's still a pretty small number around the world. I can count on probably my 2 hands of the top female big wave surfers in the world.
Yeah.
But there are the next generation, they're all in their 20s and just dabbling. Then there's some younger girls on Oahu that are going out at Waimea, and it's pretty cool.
So gnarly.
Yeah. It's fun to see it progress.
I'm sure it's just a matter of time though, because seeing what the women are doing on the world tour, right, in the last it's been a long time coming, but I feel especially the last 5 years, it's just
it's wild
going off.
You got to be watching that, tripping out, right?
Oh yeah. I guess when I was on tour, it was definitely, it was starting, but I think obviously the depth of talent on the women's side has just gone, now the whole tour is gnarly.
Yeah.
And they're adding more women, which is great. And, I think what's really shifted is the surfing at the waves of consequences at
it's
Pipe and Chopes and Molly's and Tyler, and they were charging, but now there's 5 girls that are just oh yeah, cool. No worries.
Yeah. And that are progressing every event, in every, that's what I've loved seeing, especially at Pipe, where you're whoa, okay. Every year they're just pushing it that much more, and it's so cool to see them have the opportunity to be out there with no one battling them and watching them properly send it.
For sure.
With incredible technique, and the backside barrel riding now is so insane. I feel there's been a handful of waves over the years that girls have gotten that are okay, that was insane. But no one was okay, this is like, you know, especially on their back end. Like, I honestly think since like Rochelle, like she was like the one when I was a kid growing up that I was like, I want to learn how to do that. Like she would properly butt stall knife on her backhand. And like, it took years for girls to like even like touch that. And now you're seeing it where you're like, Katie, Molly, like you're like, they're doing it all the time.
Yeah, it's super cool.
It's so sick.
I know some of the waves that they got. I had so much fun watching them at Pipe like the last 2 years and Chopes and stuff. And
yeah, Chopes,
I guess,
I'm like, what?
I feel like for a while it was hard. It was like, oh, like maybe not that many of the girls like wanted to surf that stuff on the tour. So it was like, okay, we're going to run the girls when it's smaller or whatever. And then finally it just got to the point, it seemed like, where they're like, okay, well, we're just going to run it. And then that helped them get the time out there to like practice. Cause even for us, like I paddle out at Pipe, like,
oh, it's so hard.
I'll surf for 3 hours and catch a wave or two,
people.
you know? Yeah, at least. And then, you know, like trying, and I'm comfortable out there. Like I feel okay, you know, I'm not versus like them. It's like all of a sudden, okay, cool. Like we have to surf Pipe next week in a contest. And how do you get practice?
Yeah.
Like
when that wasn't a thing in the past. So it's not like they grew up like once a year going there.
No.
Or like competing in events to practice there. All of a sudden it was like, you know, we're putting you in the deep end.
Yeah.
And I mean, to watch just the level and watch them rise to the occasion has been really cool. Just as a surf fan, I'm like blown away. It's so much fun to watch.
I know the women's tour has been so exciting.
So cool.
And yeah, it's just good to see it like going, they're just getting after it. It's crazy.
So cool. Are we going to see you do a comeback?
Probably not.
No.
I don't think so.
I'm like, I've kind of wondered. I'm like, okay, like what's the next step?
I don't know. I still enjoy, I think, parts of it. And sometimes I'm like, oh, like I watch the contest. Sometimes I'm like, oh, the waves are good. Like Fiji, I was like, oh, that'd be fun to be in that, or Chopes or something, you know? But I think it got to the point for me where I was just like, I know what it takes to get back there and to do well, like how focused and committed you have to be. And I just don't really know if I have that in my,
and to be gone, right?
Yeah,
like
to be gone.
Now, like you have family, and
it's
like,
and I think for me, like I wanted to have a family and be around and not be traveling all the time. So it kind of was like maybe happened a tiny bit sooner. Like I probably would have done another year or two on tour if I hadn't fallen off, but it all worked out super well. And now I'm really happy and like enjoying this part of my life. So I don't know, like there's still always that part of me that's like that. I mean, I still love surfing and I want to surf all the time. Haven't been surfing quite as much lately, but I will be. And then, you know, there's probably still a part of me that's like has that competitiveness and like wants to perform or surf in those waves with those guys. But I just don't think I have like what it takes to get back there, like get through the QS and commit to all the small wave stuff. You have to want 100%, or else you're not going to get there. And I just, you know, unless I feel like that again, I don't think I'd try. But I'm not saying like I'd never surf another event, you know, like I think for us here, if our regional events were like lowers and Rincon, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll surf lowers and Rincon every year. Or if it was backdoor and Pipe, like, or somewhere like, I don't know, just waves that I was more excited to go surf. I'd still want to compete a little bit, but I don't quite have the fire to go do like Pismo and Morro Bay. I'm like, I've done that.
Been there, done that.
Totally. But it's still fun. Like, I mean, I get like when I watch it, I get like fired up sometimes. I'm like, oh yeah,
the competitive spirit's still there.
Yeah, I think I never had that of like I need to beat the other people, but I like surfing good waves against good surfers and like trying to rise to the occasion.
For sure. And waves of consequence and like good waves.
And uncrowded.
Like crowded.
That's what, I mean, getting to paddle out at Pipe and backdoor and surfing a heat with one other guy, like you don't get those chances unless you're doing that. So that's the dream tour. It seems like it's going back to the dream tour right now.
Seems like it, yeah. I'm excited for this next year.
Yeah, me too. How about you? Did you ever, after like that initial phase of like doing the QS, did you ever think about trying to go back and do it?
Yeah, I mean, after like those first few years of just like going and doing those events where the waves sucked everywhere, I was like, I kind of lost the enthusiasm. And like you're saying, you have to 100% like really want to do that. And I didn't like a huge part of it for me was that I couldn't afford to do 100%. I couldn't do all of the contests. And I think when you're doing the QS, like especially at that time, like you had to do them all. You had to learn from your mistakes. It was like the more repetitions, the more heat time, the better, and get used to surfing like those kind of grovelly waves. Like we don't have beach breaks on Maui. Like we have 2 and you don't surf them really. And so learning how to surf beach breaks and less powerful waves, and unless you're like super fired up and that's your like sole focus, then, you know, the person behind you that's their dream and that's their like 100% focus and what they want to achieve, they're going to pass you by no matter what, you know.
I always felt like that too.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I got to a point where I was so frustrated that I didn't actually get to show my surfing in these events. And I was like, what am I even trying to do? So I just got to a point where I was like, I don't really like competing. Like I definitely am a competitive person. Like any game that I play, if I play pickleball or cards or backgammon or whatever it is, like for sure I want to win, but it's like in a lighthearted spirit. Like I'm not someone who's going to go pout in the corner if I lose, you know, like I'm like, I really like enjoy the competitive camaraderie. And like when your friends win, you have to like lift them up too. And it just kind of like that part of me kind of just was like, I'm not really interested in that anymore. Like I'd rather go and surf good waves, go to Indo or go to Fiji and then focus on the big wave thing. Cause I really enjoyed that. And I was like, I'll figure it out. You know, like I had really cool jobs. I had really cool bosses that allowed me to like create my own schedule. I worked at the fish market for Yuri and Moon. They were the best bosses. Yuri's like big wave surfer who was paddling out at Jaws, you know, so they got it. They were like, okay, like as long as you get your shifts covered, we don't care. And so it was pretty easy. Like all the girls that worked there, it was a text, hey, I'm leaving on this trip, covered. And I was like, okay, bye.
That's perfect. Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to say no to some rad girl who wants to go surf Jaws tomorrow. Like, what?
and like the work environment there was just so cool. It was like a really good job. And so we had a really good crew of people that all, you know, everyone kind of helped each other out. Someone's going to visit their family, pick up their shifts. And I did ding repair for years. Like that was my side hustle. And that was like my hours. So I could do that whenever I wanted, and picked up random catering jobs. And you know, I worked for contractors and did all the odds and ends that just allowed me to go surfing. And that's what I truly love doing. And I knew that no matter what, like whatever I kind of like decided to do as a career, that I could figure it out at any time. Like I know that I have so many different skill sets, and like I just really wanted to go surfing. And that was like what I was focused on.
That's
and
so cool.
I was like, I'll figure that out. You know, that's something in your 30s, you'll figure it out. And then all of a sudden I was like doing it as a job.
Hell yeah.
And I feel very fortunate.
That's so cool.
For sure.
So what's the status? Because I feel like since I stopped doing the tour and like paying attention as much, I feel like I've lost touch with like where's the state of all the surf tours. But what's up with the big wave tour now?
Good question.
So is it like there isn't one basically, right? Because for a while there was one though, like the years that you won the title and you had the Jaws events, like you had multiple events.
Well, for the women, we
or was it just Jaws?
Well, it was the other events didn't end up running.
Okay.
So it was just Jaws, and then when we got the Mavericks thing, Mavericks just never worked out, and the other events that the guys were in, the women weren't in yet. It was just like a weird timing, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, the tour got pulled apart, and then there was just going to be Jaws, and then they were doing Nazare. And in the midst of that, like they had the permit for Mavericks, and it just never ended up happening. And then all of a sudden it was Jaws and Nazare. And then 2020 happened, and it was just kind of like, you know, events weren't happening, and then it never came back. And it's kind of been like, yeah, I don't really know the answer to that. There's no events at the moment. The Nazare tow event happens, and I hope that the Peʻahi event comes back, just for, you know, it's like to be able to showcase big wave surfing on the best platform there is. And like, I personally don't mind that it's not around, because I just like want to go surfing. But I really think that it would be like so cool to let the younger, you know, the new kids on the block have that opportunity, because I really think that it gave me a launching pad into my career. And like, you know, it's something that I get to hold on to for the rest of my life of winning those events. And I would love for like the next crew to have that opportunity and still be able to be in the mix with them and push them to rise to, you know, a better level. But I don't know. It's like, you know, it's business and surfing's in a weird place, and we'll see if it ever happens. But there is a resurgence of the Big Wave Awards. I actually was there last night. Got to give it to Bill Sharp for getting that going again. So it's pretty cool to like have big wave surfing have, you know, a step back into having a little platform to celebrate and for eyes to be on it. And it was funny. All the speeches last night were like, big wave surfing's back. And I'm like, it never went anywhere.
We've all still been doing it.
The level of surfing has progressed just exponentially in the past 5 years. Like, it's just wild what people are doing, you know, on 50-foot waves that you never thought would have been possible 10 years ago. And so it's just like, it's back in the sense that the awards are back, and it was really cool to see everybody just so fired up about it.
For sure. Yeah. And I mean, back maybe just like it deserves a platform.
Yeah.
And I think everyone I talk to, like who rides big waves, is exactly like you were going to do whatever it took to get there and to be paddling out on those days, like working other jobs, getting your shift cut just because you love it. No one was paying you to be there. No one said you should be there. And you're just like, oh no, this is what I'm going to do. And I feel like that I don't know all of them, but I feel like most of the people who ride big waves feel that way.
You have to.
It's like, you're going to do it just because you love it. And it's like, hey, if you can make a buck doing it, cool. But
yeah, and
you're going to do whatever it takes to be there on those sessions.
And I think it deserves that, you know, like the level of like these athletes that are like putting themselves like, you know, at the pinnacle of the sport and pushing the level of the sport to, you know, different. It's honestly mind blowing. Like, it's like people are climbing Everest in the surf world, you know, but they're doing it on every swell, and then they're going higher, and they're better.
Everest falls on you.
Yeah. And then Everest falls on you, and all the references, but it's gone from somewhere that like every swell, people are just taking it to the next level, and boards are getting better, and all of the technology and the inflation vests and like the safety aspect, everybody's like on the same program and understanding that like it's a team thing. It's not just like this Hail Mary thing. Like, let's do it safely and make sure everyone goes home to their families, and to take it really serious. So I do think that like these athletes do deserve to make money doing that. Like,
absolutely.
It's the one sport, like as far as action sports go, that like the majority of surfers out there on a big day are not making money. And it's kind of crazy. Like, it's just, I guess it's kind of the state of sports. It's a little funky right now, especially in surfing, but I would love to see that come back. But right now it's just like, it goes back to like the roots of like why you got into it, and just like, you know, just surfing in general, but for sure big wave surfing, like you truly have to love it. Like, what are you going to make 10 grand here or that, you know, like it's not going to change your life. Like, yeah, it might send you on a couple surf trips or allow you to do like, you know, a couple trips to other waves when swells pop up, but it's not like going to buy you a house or, you know,
set you up. Yeah.
So it's like, you really, truly have to like love it. And there are so many different ways to getting your name out there and getting these waves and eyes on them now with like the world of the internet, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it would be really nice to see something come of it. Like seeing like the 100-foot wave documentary, I'm like, that is so insane. It would be so cool if that was shown on like more, you know, like all of the stories.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there's so many stories.
There's so many stories and so many cool locations, and all the behind the scenes stuff is just, that's what makes it so special. So
yeah. And what you guys pour into being ready for those sessions, I think that's what is different than like, I can not surf for a couple of weeks and like paddle out, and I can still surf pretty good on a head high wave. But like, yeah, if I don't train to paddle out for like a big day, like I paddle out and I'm like, oh God, like my confidence just falls off a cliff. And like, I'm not doing it, but I think surfing that big cloud break day, like made me realize like, you can't just like, you can, but you can't really just like show up and like blow up on those days. Like it's all about preparation.
Yeah. And I mean, you definitely can. And then all of a sudden you're caught inside and you haven't been surfing or training or doing anything. And, you know, the risk there is like, it's really high. And it's like, I feel like Mother Nature really like puts that into perspective very quickly in big waves.
Keeps you honest for sure.
Yeah. It's like a good reminder very quickly. And I just think like when, you know, you're putting your life on the line and like really pushing it at that level, like you got to take it seriously. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty fun to see like how hard people are working to do it because they love it.
For sure. Yeah. Like how, for you training wise, like what's your program look like going into like a Jaws season?
Yeah. I mean, going into the winter, it's definitely, you know, like October, I really like put my head down. In September, all summer, I've been like training and doing other, you know, stuff, and feeling in like really good physical shape. But for sure, October rolls around and I'm like surfing every day. I'm in the gym 4 days a week and really like starting kind of like a training camp where it's like, okay, by November, like month in, but with all of the training that comes, you know, behind that, but really just like fully dedicating like a proper, like, you know, 4 to 8 weeks of like boot camp of being like, okay, this is the deadline. And I want to be feeling like the best physical, like beast, like, and feeling like just as like the most confident that you can go into a winter season. So then when those swells roll around, you're like ready to rumble. You're like, okay, we're just going out and having fun. And I love that time of the year because I feel like so excited about surfing and just like every day, like getting up and out the door, and we have waves every day, and like it might not be the best, but just being in the ocean,
just getting in the water,
where you know that you're going to surf is just like such a nice feeling.
And do you like, does your training change like outside of surfing going into that time of year as far as like what you're doing to like physically be ready for those sessions? I
mean, I feel like I'm like when I'm at home, I'm training all the time. Like like I have like my friend, Samantha Campbell owns Deep Relief Peak Performance. It's a gym that's literally like 3 minutes from my house. And it's a very unique space. Like Ian and I both train there. She trains.
I see it on Instagram.
Yeah. She trains like, you know, from the everyday people that are, you know, athletes in whatever they're doing, you know, from bikers to skiers to professional surfers, windsurfers, all different types of athletes, but they can go from, you know, a broken leg and go into physical therapy. You can do PT there as well with the most amazing team that I've ever experienced. All of them are very dear friends of mine, and I feel so fortunate to have them all and have this team because I don't know anywhere else in the world that you can go from like a broken leg back to performing at your like top 100% and be training amongst like, you know, para athletes to 70-year-olds, like getting in the gym and working hard to, you know, the mini-gram 15-year-old phenom to, you know, the mix, and everybody is in there trying to push themselves to be better. And it's just like a really like nice symbiosis of everybody. And we have a really cool space. And yeah, I have to give her like that team so much credit to like where I am at, because I've come back from so many injuries, you know, putting Humpty Dumpty back together again. Yeah, like you've had every some bad year. Injuries, huh? Yeah. Yeah. With big wave surfing, it's like, you know, broken shoulder, torn hamstrings, knee injuries, broken foot, shoulder stuff, like so many things. And to be able to come back from that, like I always feel like just that much more confident because you've learned more about how your body works, what you're capable of doing, and the mindset. And that's a huge part of big wave surfing is like being able to know what you're capable of and be able to like shut off all of that noise and just be present and go out there and like, you know, do what you love. And yeah, got to give them a lot of credit because I wouldn't have been able to do it without them.
That's so cool. How long have you been training there for and like had that as part of your program?
Oh, like I think they've had that gym space for like 12 years now. So
pretty like the majority of the time that you're like pushing yourself at Jaws, you've had that as a resource.
Totally. So like when I'm at home, I'm there minimum 3 days a week.
Nice.
We do like an activation class on Monday, a strength, like workout Tuesday and a workout on Saturday. And then when I'm in like a training camp or block or whatever, I'm in there another day in there doing something. So.
And then surfing all the time.
And surfing and trying to be in the water and
foiling.
Taking care of my property and all the plants and the dogs and all the things. And trying to juggle it all.
Taking care of Sean. Yeah. How's he?
Hunting, like all the hobbies.
Yeah. How's Sean?
He's good.
Cool.
Yeah. Super good.
Your guys' spot's so rad. And that must be fun. Like how getting to design and work on all your equipment and boards with him.
Yeah.
For Jaws.
Definitely.
Put a lot of trust in him.
For sure. Definitely. Very lucky. It's a pretty unique, like relationship in the sense that we can like go out to dinner and talk surfboard. Sometimes I'm like, okay, drawing the line here.
Yeah. How do you guys have to separate the business and pleasure talk. There? Like keep the surfboards out of the date nights?
For sure.
Or does it transcend?
That's also like how like, we got to know each other. So it's like, it's fun. And
that's part of your guys' language.
Yeah. And it's fun to be able to talk to someone where you're like, they know what you want to feel and are like listening to you like, okay, I think that it's this, like maybe you can like tuck this here or like give it a little bit less edge or a little more here. And he's like, but why do you think that? And I'm like, okay, well, this is what I want to feel. And he's like, actually, we should like bend a little bit more here. And you're going to have that sensation that you're just after,
That's a good shaper.
Yeah.
It's not letting you tell him how to shape. He's like taking in what you're telling him and then putting that into like his design. Yeah.
And like we've been doing the dance a long time. So it's like pretty easy. And I feel very lucky. And especially in the big wave stuff, like I wouldn't want to ride anyone else's stuff for
That's
sure.
so cool. How many in like a winter, how many boards will you typically get or like go
Not
through?
as many as I used to. All my big wave, I don't break a lot of them. I broke one board last year. I broke, like maybe one a season.
And will you always will he make you a couple new ones like to try some different stuff
for sure.
each year?
Like 2 winters ago, we made, I think 6 new guns, like all at once. And it's not like you get to go and ride them all that season. Like I think I rode 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then last winter, with the eddy running on the last day of those 5 Jaws days, I didn't get to surf as much because we were traveling to Oahu and all like little things. So it's not like you get to like get a whole new quiver and go and ride them all. Like I have one board that I still haven't ridden and like one board that I've only had 1 session on. So I'm still like, okay, a couple more sessions and then it's really like, okay, what do we want to change? So
yeah, that's crazy to think about. It can take like a year to get like enough information on a board to like make one for the next year.
Yeah. And like we'll make stuff based off of like an idea and a feeling, but it's hard to go off of like, okay, I want to change this because if you haven't, you've ridden 6 waves on it, unless it's been something where you're like, okay, that like really changed so much. Like let's make more of those. But yeah, I don't go through, I try to like take really good care of my stuff. I don't get a lot of boards. I only break a couple here and there and try to like keep things fresh and trying new stuff. And I've been pretty psyched on the twin fins lately. I'm just like, not the guns, but
I was going to say
like short boards. I'm like, okay. So now I'm like, kind of like, oh, I want to try like some like more alternative shapes where I'm like, oh, I can still do the turns that I want to do, but go in a different speed or a different direction. Or
I know the twin fins are fun. They're kind of addicting. I just got a new one and I'm like, whoa, this thing's really fun.
It's hard to go like that, like drive and like, spring of like, whoa, I can get there so quickly.
Yeah. And like, I love how like you kind of just put them on edge and like you can go so far.
It's crazy.
Like the glide and like just that speed that you feel is so nice.
It's so sick.
It kind of makes surfing easy.
So fun.
Cheating.
Yeah. And that like high line, like acceleration that you can get on them.
I hated twin fins when I was younger. I don't know why. I like didn't get it. When I was like really young, I was like, like they're slidey and weird.
Yeah.
I also think I probably was riding like weird twin fins. I feel like people make them so good now.
Well, yeah, I feel like now like they're designed to hold a little bit more where you still get that speed and drive, but then you can still like really like do tight turns in the pocket and push really hard. And they don't, unless you're riding like a really wide tailed keel fin, like that, it's going to slide at a certain point. They're so much better.
Yeah. They're so fun.
Yeah.
So what else you got going on? You're working with Patagonia.
Yep.
That's keeping you busy.
Yeah, we have like a lot of cool stuff happening right now.
I saw you do it. I saw it looked like you went to Canada and had a really fun trip.
Oh yeah, I had a great trip.
We went up there last year. Parker and I went to Tofino.
Yeah, we just missed you. Remember?
I know. Yeah, that place is insane.
So cool.
I want to go back there so bad.
Yeah, it's like definitely a magical spot. Like I was born in Victoria, so part of Vancouver Island. So I always feel like when I touch down on the island, I have a little bit of like a connection. But it's been fun to revisit. I have some really good friends that live in Tofino that feel like family. And this last trip up there, actually, like I just went to go and spend time with them. It was kind of like a family trip, it felt
cool.
like. And I only surfed once. It was like a fishing trip and adventure and camping. And it was like a proper like vacay. It felt really good. And I brought home a cooler full of fish. And
nice.
Yeah, we're just going to be eating salmon that we caught for the year and being able to share it with friends. So
heck yeah.
That was a really cool adventure for sure. And yeah, what do I got going on? I'm here for a week and then home for a few days and go to Fiji for 3 weeks. And then I'll be rolling into like probably at least 4 to 6 months at home.
Oh yeah, it's September.
Yeah, I'm like October. I'm like, awesome. There's going to be waves every day by the time I get back from Fiji.
Start the training in Fiji.
Yeah,
and then roll it into home.
It's been starting actually. I started early, but I'll take some workauts there for sure. Nice. Yeah, and try and spend as much time in the water. You know, how does you get home from there and you're like, okay, surfed out.
I want to go. That sounds so fun.
Yeah, pretty excited.
We should go when Dylan's there.
I know. Get him back surfing.
Good luck. I tried. It was bad when I was there. It was so bad when I was still surfing. Did I even get him to surf once? I don't think so.
I surfed a couple times at restaurants with him.
Yeah, he did. The last when I was leaving, of course, that night, restaurants got fun. And he's like, I'm going to paddle out. I was like, of course you wait till I'm leaving.
I know. We got to get him back into it. But I think, times are different. 3 kids and
I know.
Work in there and the crowds, I think, deter a lot of it unless it's like really good. Not interested.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's a good winter for you.
Fingers crossed.
Do you ever come over? Will you come over and surf Mavs ever?
I haven't surfed Mavs in years. I mean, the last time I surfed out there were like 60 people, like elbow to elbow. And I just wasn't, I don't know. I don't love the cold water.
You did a Toto. Was that last year you did a Totos mission or 2 years ago? Yeah.
I've done Totos a handful of times. I prefer it down there.
It's less crowded, huh?
It's less crowded. It's a little warmer. It's like, you know, 4-3.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like Mavs is cold. I developed a cold water. I always laugh when I say this, a cold water allergy.
Yeah.
About 7 years ago, like I literally break out in hives.
Oh, like actually? Yeah. I thought you were kidding.
I mean, I feel like I am.
No way.
But so my hands get really itchy up at Mavs. And so I haven't been back there.
What the heck? That's crazy. Like while you're out?
Like only on my exposed skin. So like I discovered it. I got out of an ice bath and I had full on hives. And I thought that like something in the ice bath, like maybe someone cleaned it with something that my skin was having a reaction and it turned into hives and then they went away.
No way.
And then
never heard of this.
I was getting kind of a reaction on my fingers when I would hold like a rocks glass that was filled with ice.
Like with a cocktail in it?
And I was like, that's weird. Is that from the salt from that margarita? Or like weird. Like
someone dosed your margarita.
Yeah. Didn't put 2 and 2 together. And then I went to San Francisco for like a fundraiser, surfed Ocean Beach with no booties on. It was in September. And like normally if I surfed with no booties, no gloves, I would just get cold and go in, you know, like I wasn't like, and 10 minutes in, my feet were so itchy. I was like sitting on my board, scratching my feet. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then my hands were itchy. And I was like, I must be dehydrated. I've just flown like all the way from Fiji. Like something's up. And the next day, same thing happened. So I posted on my Instagram. I was like, does this happen to anyone? My hands were like, looked like I'd been stung by a bee.
Yeah.
Like just super swollen. And I got like ridiculous messages, you know, people are, your wetsuit's too tight. Like you shouldn't go from hot to cold or cold to hot, whatever. And then a couple people wrote me and they were like, it's called cold. I think it's urticaria or urticaria. And I looked it up And I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what it is.
Weird.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Super weird. But
Good thing I don't have that. I'd be in trouble.
I've been training myself out of it. Like I can do an ice bath for two minutes now.
Really?
And no issues. So
how do you train yourself out of it?
I think it's just like reintroducing it like a little bit at a time.
Okay. Crazy.
I don't know. I probably still have it if I did it for a long time, but
that is so trippy. And it just like developed. You didn't have when you were
super
younger.
weird. So I haven't gone back to Mavs since then because I'm like, I don't really want to. I'm not going to wear gloves. I like refuse to wear gloves.
Yeah.
It like grabbing a big board and like paddling.
That's kind of weird, huh?
It's horrible for me.
I wore gloves for the first time in Canada.
You have to up there.
Yeah. And I thought I was going to hate it. And I actually didn't mind it that much. I was fine.
But you're used to surfing in wetsuits.
Yeah. I'm used to it. Yeah. We did 4.3s, hood, booty, and gloves. And I was like hot. It was pretty. The water wasn't that bad. Yeah. It was like 54, 55. And like the air was like kind of the same, like maybe even 60. It wasn't totally bad at all. Yeah. It felt like a little bit colder than a winter day here. I was like, oh, this is minor. Yeah. But the gloves, I thought were going to like really trip me out, but I kind of didn't mind it that much.
I think with a shortboard too, like you can still like grab the rails pretty easy. Yeah. Like on a big board and you're like kind of, I don't know. I just haven't been back there since then. And that's mostly the reason. But I also was like surfing with 60 people, like elbow to elbow where the takeoff is like very defined. I don't know. Jaws is
a way bigger playing field, huh, than something like
that. Yeah, and like, we'll see what happens. I'm still like super excited to go and like surf there. Like I love Mavericks. I think it's just like such a good wave. Mm-hmm. But we'll see. Or just
Well, let me know.
It's been a few years. Yeah, maybe we should go.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's such
a cool. Let us come surf.
It's such a cool wave. Yeah. And I think you can still find those windows, that aren't as busy. It's like the same, like I always tell friends, I'm like, come for the off swells. Yeah. Where, like the best waves of the day are like really good waves. Mm-hmm. But maybe it's not like as forecasted. Like, okay, this is the swell of swells where everybody flies in.
Yeah. It's the same for like Rincon people. There'll be some like big long interval swell and everyone's like blowing me up like, oh, it's like Rincon. I'm like, I don't know. Like, period's kind of long. Like it just isn't really always the place that's good on like some big hype swell, like with the long interval. Yeah. And I always think it's like the in-between random days that are way more fun. It's just kind of hard to tell people to show up for those days.
For sure.
Because you don't know. Not that good. Yeah. But that's kind of like, I guess, the beauty of your own spot. It's like, oh shit.
It's actually really good.
It's actually good today. And it's not supposed to be.
Which is awesome. Yeah. I actually want to come and surf Rincon.
You should.
Such a good wave.
Very low consequences around here compared to what you're used to.
But perfect waves. I'm like, I just love surfing like point breaks and just like good quality waves.
You should come home. Well, thanks, Paige. Thanks for coming and doing this with me.
Yeah, stoked. Nice to catch up.
Yeah, very nice.
Thanks for the invite.
Did you win any awards last night?
No.
I have to ask you. Okay.
I just went as a, just a
supporter of
the big wave crew. It was nice to see everybody.
For sure. I feel like that from the outside looking in, it seems like the big wave world has like a tight community.
It does,
like,
for sure.
You guys rolling for a swell and it's like everyone's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely like little cliques, but it's like everyone gets together. It's like a big family and, it's like a really nice crew and good energy for sure.
Good. Right on. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Conner.